Joe Biden likely had a lot on his mind just a few hours before meeting with Kevin McCarthy. Well, Joe's beloved multi-million-dollar beach house in Rehoboth, Delaware, it was finally searched by the FBI. Now, this comes 3 entire months after stolen classified documents turned up at the UPenn Biden Center. Remember, that was 6 days before the midterms on November the 2nd, and 2 months after more classified material was located in the garage with that Corvette right there. The safe garage that he says is locked all the time, that obviously is not locked all the time. And by the way, at 5 separate locations within these homes and offices. Now, 2 weeks after, even more classified material was discovered during a search at Biden's home in Wilmington, Delaware. And 10 days after Joe made a very unusual winter trip to his Rehoboth beach house. This was in January. Now, think about this. Joe Biden took a trip to his beach house in January. I'm sure it was beautiful. I'm sure the weather was crappy. But 10 days before the FBI searched that very property for classified documents. So what was Joe doing there? Remember, this is during an ongoing criminal investigation, and Joe Biden is the subject of that investigation. And yet the FBI is, perfectly fine with Biden spending a few days at the location that they should be searching, should have searched already, and are going to search? You think they would have given that same opportunity to Donald J. Trump? I doubt it. Now, they raided Mar-a-Lago before dawn without warning, even though Donald Trump was cooperating with their requests. Now, we're watching a two-tiered system of justice play out in real time in this country. So equal justice under the law, equal application of our laws, sadly does not exist any longer with the Biden DOJ. Now, still today, some Democrats, they were seized by federal agents in Rehoboth, but we don't know if any of the material was classified or any other documents were moved or destroyed before the FBI conducted their search while Joe was vacationing on the beach in January. Now, keep in mind, this is the third Biden property that was searched by the FBI that we know of. We do know of 2 more locations that need to be searched. One would be Hunter Biden's house, and the other would be the University of Delaware. We'll have more on that in a minute. But, of course, the White House counsel is refusing to tell any of us if the other locations were visited by the FBI. Take a look.
Just to be very clear, has the FBI conducted any searches of any other locations associated with the president that you or the White House is aware of?
Look, I think we're providing information as this goes on and answering questions about the search activities as they've been happening. I don't want to speak too much to the DOJ's practices in an ongoing investigation.
Simple question. Did they search the house or not? That's a yes or a no. No in between. What you saw there, that's called spin. That's called not answering the question. Now, the White House is also refusing to tell us how many classified documents have been recovered. Take a look at this.
Karine, what is the current number of documents bearing classified markings that have been found in the president's residences and offices?
I would refer you to the White House counsel's office.
And Ian just declined to comment on that as well.
There you go. You got your answer.
Now, the White House has reportedly blocked the National Archives from updating you, the American people, on this case. Now, that's something that Biden's team will neither confirm nor deny. Take a look at this.
There's reporting that came from the House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, who says that in his conversations with the National Archives, they communicated that they were told, the Archives was told it could not release a press release at whatever point it was about the discovery of classified documents. Did anyone at the White House tell them not to do that?
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. If that's actually what he said, it's probably better to ask the archive.
Oh, okay. Meanwhile, who told him not to answer the question? James Comer said that on this show last night. Now, this is a cover-up in the making, but your FBI Director Christopher Wray, your AG Merrick Garland, they don't seem to care. They have clearly politicized and weaponized the Department of Justice in this great country. That is not good for America. Now, keep in mind, most of Biden's documents from his 4 decades in office, they are stored at the University of Delaware. How big a trove of documents? Well, we're talking about 33 pallets of papers delivered in 2011, not in 1 truck, but 2 trucks, including over 1,800 cartons of documents, and get this, a whopping 415 gigabytes of electronic records. Now, neither Joe Biden nor the University of Delaware will allow anybody to view those documents. The university is pretending that they are still organizing the material. 11 years later. But as far as we know, there has been no FBI search at the University of Delaware. There needs to be one. Or for that matter, Hunter Biden's house and office. There needs to be one. And according to the New York Post, remember, this broke over the weekend, Hunter offered to sell intelligence, or seemingly what looked like intelligence, according to officials, on Russian oligarchs to the U.S. aluminum firm Alcoa for $55,000. Where did Hunter get information on Russian oligarchs? We need an answer to that question. And given Hunter's deep ties to China, Russia, Ukraine, not to mention the crack cocaine, the prostitutes, you would think that the FBI and the DOJ would want to make sure that there's no classified documents in Hunter's possession. After all, he was in the very house where classified documents were found. But again, to the best of our knowledge, Hunter's house has not been raided. Why not? What's really going on?